Oh. There he is!
What's going on, everybody? Zach from 12 Hike. This video is going to be super fun, I hope. This is from my trip back to Ohio in July. Sean Penix and I got out to do some creek fishing in one of our favorite creeks in southern Ohio. Chock full of largemouth, smallmouth, spotted bass, crappie, you name it, it's probably in there. What made today extra special was I went out with a very specific mission. John Morris from Morris & Son Custom Baits actually was nice enough to send me a large bag of creature baits and stick baits, and I wanted to take them out and test them and see how good they really were. He has a podcast that he does with his friend Brian. It's called Working Class Fishing, and those guys are great over there. I suggest you go check them out. But his lures were equally as good as the podcast. That's the only thing I used all day. Caught a couple of really nice fish, missed a couple really nice ones, and just had a great time with Sean.
I think I'm good for now. Halfway surprised Lucas didn't want to come. Oh. There he is! Ah!
So like I said, this area that we are fishing is very dear to us.
Yes.
We've had a lot of memories made here, and most famously, our best memory is probably from the trash fish. And if you don't know that story, go back and listen to the episode that Sean and I did together. Every time we're on, we talk about it. So it's a spot that always surprises us. You can catch a big drum, you can catch a largemouth, a smallmouth, sauger, crappie, all in this one little stretch of river. And Sean and I have this discussion all the time about creek fishing. We're both very fond of it. We're fond of it for a few reasons. One, it's very easy. It's accessible. All you need to do is find a public launching site, and you can walk in there with your shorts and your shoes and a fishing rod, and you can catch fish. You don't need fancy crankbaits, bait casters. You can just go there with an open face reel. And if you want to be very basic about it, just take some night crawlers and hooks and you're fine. Or you can do what Sean and I did. We were just, we Texas rigged our creature baits and our stick baits, and they were weightless.
Magnetic, that's nice.
So the reason we do that, these areas aren't very deep and they're super rocky. They don't require a lot of weight to get through like grass mats or get down in the structure.
Gotten bigger in here since last time I was here.
You can walk right up to an area, pitch your lure right next to a log, and odds are you're going to catch a fish. In addition to that, you don't have to worry about fishing a huge body of water. The thing about these little rivers and creeks is you're basically walking from hole to hole. And when I say hole to hole, you'll find these really skinny areas of water where it's just rocks and riffles.
Would really enjoy it.
It's only ankle deep. But then those areas dump out into these deeper spots where you've got to walk around the rim. Odds are there's almost always a fish in there, or multiple fish. Especially if there's a tree that's been washed down the river where the roots are all hanging out. Large bass like to really hang in those spots and ambush as the current takes stuff past.
Rock. That's a nice one too, dude. You don't jump. Don't you jump. No. He's a bruiser.
You know, bring him
Right to you.
to me. I'll just hold the net. I'm not going to jab at him. I'm just going to bring him. No! Ow, that's my feet. Come on, man.
Woo! Look at there.
That's you. You got to edit out me fumbling with the net. You can't have that. Hang on. Nice. Hold him up.
And that's the true beauty of it. And that kind of defines the way that Sean and I really like to
There's a couple
fish.
different flavors in there too.
We're simple creatures.
I
Not that
saw.
we're dumb or incapable of, sophisticated styles of fishing. But this takes a lot of the anxiety and stress out of fishing for us. We just go down there with the full intentions of having fun, and we know that we're going to catch something.
For sure.
If the bass aren't biting, we can downsize our tackle, we can do ultralight fishing, and we can catch panfish all day long. And if you've never caught a green sunfish from a small river or creek, you're really missing out. One, they're tenacious. They fight like crazy. And two,
For next year?
they are gorgeous.
We are going.
They're some of the
Somebody's
most
going.
beautiful freshwater fish you can find.
Well, I'll be honest.
So if you're out there fishing in your hometown
Uh-huh.
and you drive past a small river, small creek that you have never fished before and you wonder if there's fish in there, let me give you a couple pieces of advice.
Yeah.
One, the first thing you got to do is actually stop and take a look around. So park your car, walk down to the edge, and see if you can find evidence of deep water or areas that you can actually walk and fish.
But they
Step
also
number
got face
two,
punched with regular
Don't
COVID
go
last time,
there with your
and then
most
they
fancy
rebounded pretty
equipment.
quick.
Try downsizing and try simplifying your gear. Take a handful of lures, and I'll give you some
Has anyone
suggestions.
around here had the
Like I
Delta
said, if you
variant?
want to be sure to catch fish, take live bait and small hooks.
I know cases are
Or
going
you
back
can
up.
take something like a trout magnet, small panfish plastic that is proven to catch a bunch of fish. One of my favorite lures, obviously, a Roadrunner with a small Bobby Garland plastic. Those are always money. Or you can try some small, very small Rebel Crawl crankbaits. The grasshoppers, the crawls, all of those things are proven creek fishing lures that work very well.
And I had my back to him, and I felt this.
So after you do that initial trip and you figure out that there are some fish there, try scaling up a little bit. Work your way into some medium light spin tackle. Take some smaller bass hooks and hook on a Cinco or a creature bait. Toss that out there. And what you really want to focus on are, like I said, those areas where the water is very shallow and fast and it dumps into a deep area of water. Fish that area, find any structure
something
you
jumped up and
can,
got it,
and
didn't
even
it?
if you don't think it's enough structure, say it's like a grass line or something like that, always throw something there. You never know, there's a bass in there that could ambush from that weed line. Always hit trees, and if you see clumps of rocks, always fish the rocks. And it's that simple. You don't have to take a fish finder, you don't have to try to predict the weather patterns. Just go there and have fun. And that's really the whole point of fishing, right? Going out, relaxing, getting away from the stress of everyday life, and just having a good time. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. The rest of this is just us walking and hitting various spots. All the action was up front, and I apologize for that, just the way it worked. It got hot on us, and I think the fish just turned off.
Come.
But if you
Fish
like what
underneath
we're
that
doing
bad
here at
boy.
12 Hike, you can check out our podcast. It's on
There's something in there.
Spotify, iTunes, Google, all the places you find podcasts. You can also follow us on Instagram, 12 Hike
I want
Challenge.
video proof.
You can follow us on
I want video
Facebook,
proof.
12 Hike. And you can also head over to 12hikemerch.com if you want to support us by buying some of our gear. Hats, t-shirts, various outdoor items, things you might be able to use in real-life applications.
A little too swift, you reckon?
Well, the current has changed. Last time I fished down this far, it jumped right up against that stump.
Uh-huh.
So casting just in the current seam.
Letting it hit the eddy,
Oh yeah. But where it kind of
straightened out.
meandered a little. It killed that. Maybe camera up there.
Maybe. I'm just walking. I'm gonna stay away from it, see if you can catch something.